Welcome back to Closing Time with Nick El-Tawil. I am, once again, Nick El-Tawil, and I'm here with my guest today, Seth Gershberg. Seth, what's going on?
Not too much, Nick. Just happy to be here. How are you, man?
Good. So, Seth, you are a man of many talents. We were actually just talking about making music, using Ableton, Logic Pro, all that stuff. But right now, you have an AI company. Is that right?
That is correct.
So tell me about your company.
So our company is called Agent Colony AI. We have a very unique approach because we're doing something that very few people are right now. Most people are focusing on different types of AI that will do little tasks like research or replacing employees like a customer service agent. What we're doing is building a digital factory that is powered by AI agents where they make their own decisions. It's set up like a corporation. So you have a C-level agent AI, the C-suite, researchers under that, and they autonomously go out and research the market to find inefficiencies and business opportunities. They make decisions on that. They build their own agents, and then they deploy them either on the blockchain or in Web 2.0 applications. And these agents really only interact with other agents and provide services. And when they provide those services, they earn a fee. These agents are then placed on an exchange where you can buy them like a stock. So they go up and down in value depending on if they self-improve or they don't do as well. But if they're earning income, you could buy them. So at some point, if you potentially ever lose your job to AI, you'll now own a whole bunch of agents that will actually replace your income.
That's super cool. What are you selling these agents at a multiple of? Like, is there, let's say they make $100,000 a year, are you going to sell them for $200,000-$300,000, or what's the plan with that?
We're actually targeting them to give investors 50% return. So
Okay.
we do a profit share on it. Every time the agent does a transaction, there's a profit share. There's a transaction fee when you buy or sell the agent, and you can trade them with other people. But the whole idea is to target about 50%, which is an unheard of return.
Right.
But it makes the system very, people will be very interested in that type of return. And it also, the whole thing is like we're building an entirely new economy. The economy's online. It's not human to human or business to business. There's really no real world economy. So we have to create this new economy. So I think to incentivize people to take a look at these and take a chance and buy them. If we're selling an agent for, if an agent is generating $400,000 a year, for example, we would net that out to after expenses, what would be an annual 50% return. So it still could be a chunk of change for someone.
That's huge. And how far along are you guys in this process?
We're a little bit more than the beginning. So I have a team. I've got a CTO. I've got a couple developers. We have some advisors. One of them is a national cybersecurity expert. In fact, he built a company like CrowdStrike and sold it after about 4 or 5 years. He's currently working. He's worked with the NSA, the White House. He's working on something right now. I have no idea who the company is, but he negotiated down the ransom to only $1 billion.
Only
$1 billion.
Only
$1 billion.
Cool billion.
Yeah, so he's an advisor. And I've got a crypto whale out of Portugal who also built 2 very large blockchain companies who's taking a very big interest. So we just started out. We've got our first customer, which is a small, very high-end rental car company. They'll do like Porsches, Lamborghinis, they have Cyber Beasts, Teslas. Out here in Scottsdale, you see all the Teslas. They've got hundreds of them, so a lot of the drivers rent from them. And they do all these tasks that are just manual. So the owners, they'll get like 15,000 texts a month from people driving their cars, asking like, well, how do you turn on the air conditioning on this, Maserati? They don't know how to use it. And the owners have to answer these questions.
Right.
So imagine all the time that we can save them by just having an agent that's embedded in what they do. They're building an app that's like Turo. But apparently Turo is really bad with companies like them who supply the cars. So if you have like 20 plus cars on Turo, go read the Reddit. It's not very good. They're very customer focused, which I guess is good if you're renting. But if you're a supplier, not so much. So they're out there developing another app. I won't say it just in case someone from Turo is listening.
It's funny you say that because Airbnb has the same issue. The actual hosts who own the properties get terrible service from Airbnb. The customers get great service. So it's very customer focused rather than supplier focused.
Well, once these guys get the app out, they know all the people in the Reddit thread because they're all people like them, and those guys are just going to move all their cars onto this application. So we'll be able to supply the AI for that. They have a couple other things like driver's license checks and insurance checks, but these things take a lot of time, and now we'll be able to free up, a lot of their time. So that's not exactly what we're doing for our company now, as I explained it to you, but it's our first customer. I think there'll be a cultural organization out of Europe that's doing something with NFTs and AI, where the NFTs are profiles of artists where they're kind of live in some sort of cyberspace. So we're trying to put the programmers to use, but we've also applied for a National Science Foundation grant. So they have this massive application process, lots of questions where you have to comply with, or the company basically has to do something that they want, right? So the National Science Foundation gets, I don't know, a couple $100 million a year, and 32% goes into what they call high risk AI companies. So that's good for us. They like startups. And one of the things you have to do is you have to create a greater good. How about that? Well, we could cut that.
It's the most peaceful ringtone I've ever seen in my life.
Name that tune.
Frank Sinatra or something.
Succession.
Succession?
Yes.
Oh, the TV show?
Yes.
So I haven't watched TV.
I can tell.
I think the last show I watched was Breaking Bad.
Okay.
That was 2013.
Good for you. I took a couple years off once. I'm thinking about doing it again.
Yeah.
So anyway, you have to do something to solve a global problem or a large problem. So with us, it's this whole idea of no one really knows what's going to happen with jobs because of AI. Microsoft basically said that they launched 9,000 people, I think, or 14,000 people this year. It was like 9,000 and 6,000. They said, of course, it's not due to AI, but then they come out and say that 30% of their code is written by AI right now. And some of their computer scientists who have left have said, hey, I just wrote my own unemployment, which is kind of sad. It's happening all over. The founder of, I think it's Salesforce, I think about 30 to 50% of what they're doing right now is done by AI. So they're not hiring anyone new, and they're scaling back slowly. And there was a recent survey of, like job recruiters at universities around the country. And this is the first time ever that this has happened, but entry-level jobs for college grads are down 32%. People aren't being able to find these things. So when you think about customer service, and look, AI is not the best right now, right? It's getting pretty good. It's not great, but the process of improvement is incredibly rapid. So within 2 to 3 years, we're going to see, AI that will be replacing a lot of jobs, right? So if we have massive layoffs, see if I can remember some of these statistics. Goldman Sachs thinks about 50% of all work will be automated, within the next 5 or 10 years. I think it was the IMF says like 60% of all knowledge work will be replaced by AI in the next 5 to 10 years. So a lot of white collar jobs, everything from lawyers to accountants to even government officials potentially. No one really knows what's going to happen. And some people do say that, well, of course, this has happened before. We don't see people who are building horse buggies anymore, right? And in that time period when they were building those, no one knew what a car was, right? So if you had a ad for a assembly worker in a car plant in the 1800s, they're going to be like, what is that? It's kind of like if there was an ad in, let's say, the New York Times and the want ads in 1975 for a social media manager or a podcast host. People would not know what those things are. So there are these jobs that are going to be invented that we don't know anything about. But the question is, this is very different, right? And it's going to come very rapidly. So there is a really good possibility that a lot of jobs will be lost in a short period of time. Maybe it takes a while to catch up, or maybe they're not replaced. So the greater good that we're trying to do is you may have heard of UBI, or Universal Basic Income, where the government gives you $10,000 a year. I don't think that's going to make anyone happy, right? So we can provide these agents, which could literally be in the billions in the next 10 years. Just imagine 1 billion agents on the blockchain. And all they're doing is providing services from cybersecurity. It could be something in a gaming situation. It could be in the logistics industry. It could be a creative service. Whatever it is, billions and billions of them just transacting services online in the same way that we transact, with money. Those agents are making money, and then you own the agents. So now you can just go out and do podcasts or whatever you want, make music, right?
I'm still going to drop my mixtape.
Yeah, for sure.
Still going to drop my mixtape. Maybe I'll be 40 when it happens, but my rap career is going to take off.
Yeah, my techno and drum and bass or dubstep career did not.
It's funny you mention all those jobs being replaced, because I remember when I was growing up, it was, oh, you have to go to school and, you know, follow what you're supposed to do, and you can become a computer coder, or you write code, or this or that, and those are all the jobs getting replaced. And the ones that aren't are like plumbers and HVAC technicians, people who do things in the physical world. Like AI can't replace that.
Oh yeah, they can, because once they drop the AI into a robot, well, you know, we're going to have 10 million robots according to Elon Musk in the next few years.
Fair. When we get robot HVAC technicians,
Absolutely.
Is that closer or farther away than actual?
Robots are a little bit farther away.
Yeah, a little farther away.
But they're actually going to be coming online pretty soon. One of the original employees at Uber, I can't recall his name. He was on, I want to say, the All In podcast the other day. They're looking at kind of like fast food, places like Chipotle, where everything's going to be automated, but not only in store, but also to the house. So you could have a robot in the house making all your food. And their argument was that food or labor costs in restaurants are about 30% of the expenses. And when you use their automated systems, it'll be about 7%. So we could actually get, you know, better food for the same price and delivered to the house every day.
Which so many people do anyway with DoorDash.
Yes.
They just pay 3 times as much.
So I think robots, yes, can, you know, well, we don't need drivers for cars, right? We've got our robo-taxis. I ride robots, Waymo.
I do too.
All the time.
I fucking love Waymo.
Yeah. First time I took it, I said, I love it. It's like perfect, dependable, reliable, on time.
Have you taken it to the airport yet?
I have not.
It is the only thing I don't like it for. Well, I think they've changed it now, but when I first took it there, it took me like 44th Street. I had to take the train to the airport because it wouldn't go in the actual zoning area. Okay. I think now they do actually go to the drop-off area, but that's a new thing.
So you went robot car to robot.
Robot train,
to robot plane.
Robot plane, yeah.
Because, you know, like most people don't know this. It's so funny. I talk to people like, I won't take those Waymos, you know, whatever. I try to explain to them that they're a lot safer.
They really are.
And that person will then go to the airport and hop on a plane and go someplace. And there's very few landings or takeoffs that pilots actually do. They have to do a certain number to keep their license going. But basically, it's a flying robot. Pretty much,
yeah. It's funny you mentioned Waymos because when I see a Waymo when I'm walking, I do a lot of walking around Scottsdale. You know, if you get within like 100 feet of it, it stops completely. And like human drivers are not that safe. They are not that considerate. But you just get a little close to a Waymo, completely stops.
Interesting.
Because, and my buddy Bauman, who actually is one of the owners of where we are right now, he works in self-driving cars, and he told me the reason they program that way is because humans are unpredictable. So a wall, it knows that a wall isn't going to move, so it can be a little more aggressive with the wall. A human, we're unpredictable. It gives us space.
I saw a funny video. Well, it wasn't funny, but a cop pulled over a Waymo. I was like, why would a cop pull over a Waymo? They're not going to speed or anything. Well, it turned out it did make a mistake. It went wrong way onto a highway. So he pulled it over, and he walks over, and the window goes down, and he starts talking to the customer service agent. Like they knew exactly what was happening. So he actually had a conversation with Google.
That's cool that, you know, the cops know that.
Yeah,
it'd be funny if like
you walked up to it
and he's like,
do, you know?
You walked up to it, he's like, what the fuck?
He didn't know it was a Waymo either. I mean, how can you not know they have the little sombreros, the spinning sombreros?
They probably train them to do that. Like, oh, if the Waymo makes a mistake, you know, pull it over and then call us, and we'll add that to our system to fix it. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So you've been messing around with AI for a while.
Yeah, it's interesting. You know, like my background is in, you know, marketing, sales, and finance. So, like I've run an international division of a $10 billion Fortune 500 company. I've managed assets for William Blair, one of the greatest investment banks in the United States. I built a hedge fund that traded distressed debt. But I've been like science fiction AI fanboy forever. You know, artificial intelligence, the idea of it has been around for a long time. And actually, Elon is pretty funny. So he built this facility, this data processing facility in Kentucky, which they put up in about 19 days. And it's the largest AI data processing facility in the world. And it developed Grok in just months. That's why we had Grok 4 just drop the other day. And it's actually outperforming pretty much everything else.
I like Grok.
So do you know the name of that data center?
No.
It's called Colossus, based on a movie. You ever heard
Sounds
Colossus?
like a very Elon thing.
it's a 1950s B black and white movie where this giant mainframe computer gets into the electrical system and pretty much takes over the world, right? And then, of course, we had on, was it 2001 Space Odyssey, HAL, HAL 9000, the psychopathic or psychotic
iRobot, Will Smith movie.
iRobot. So we've been talking about AI for a long time. In fact, even Alan Turing, you know, he basically helped build the machine that solved the code of the German U-boats that we were able to
in World War II.
In World War II, so we were able to monitor them. So he came up with something called the Turing test, where he was talking about artificial or synthetic intelligence. That at some point, how would you test it, right? And for a very long time, people didn't think it would ever pass. It certainly has now. So we're beyond that.
We're beyond the Turing test.
Oh yeah, I mean there was a bank. I want to say it was in Malaysia, Indonesia or Malaysia, where they almost had $1 billion stolen because the CEO of that bank called one of his employees, spoke to him on the phone, gave all the proper passwords and everything to transfer $1 billion out to another bank, which would have gone to the North Koreans. But the guy, the employee, he did suspect something strange, but pretty much real. I mean, people can call you up now. They'll have your voice. You could have called me on the phone today and said, "Hey, we're not on today," and I wouldn't have shown up. So I would have thought it was you.
I've had someone call me before from my own number. Like, I looked at the caller ID. It said, Nick El-Tawil is calling you. And I'm like, oh, that's a fake call.
It's your split personality.
Yeah. Yeah. I get those scam calls all day because my phone number's on the internet. So
yeah, you have to watch this stuff now. I mean, it's getting really scary about how many scams that come out there with AI.
I have like a 1 second, I say, Nick speaking, 1-2 seconds. If I hear anything that's not even a little bit like not a real person, just instant hang up. And if they're real, they'll call me back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, or text me back, whatever.
You get any email that looks like it's from a legit company and they're telling you to click this link, don't click that link.
Never.
Go onto the web, look it up yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's a crazy world out there. Especially what's going to happen when artificial intelligence becomes super intelligent. So there's this whole thing where, AI now is narrow AI. It performs tasks. There's a couple agents out there. Manus, the one developed from China, will do some reasoning. It's kind of like mimicked reasoning. It's not like really reasoning on its own. It just has code built into it. It's kind of recursive, so it keeps checking itself. So it seems like reasoning. But superintelligence is basically when the AI has beyond human level intelligence, can reason, can think, not sentient, but has all those properties, and then self-improves. And the self-improvement goes on an exponential scale. So in a very short period of time, this super intelligent will be well beyond anything we could even comprehend. So that's where all the big questions come in. Is it going to be like Terminator, our future, or is it going to work with humans to solve all of our problems?
I feel like we got a ways to go for that.
Not too long.
I was actually here at Empire on Friday, and we were just talking about alligator versus crocodile. I was trying to find which one was more expensive for a band for my watch. Like, which one's better? Is it alligator skin or crocodile skin?
Aren't they both illegal?
Well, I hope not.
I forgot we live in Arizona.
I hope not. Anyway, I typed the prompt into Google AI, and it said alligator. But if you change one letter, it gave you the exact opposite answer. It said crocodile's more expensive. So, like, you could change one little thing, and it gives you the exact opposite response to the same question.
Interesting. Yeah, I do a lot of research with ChatGPT, and now I've been using Grok 4 just because it's kind of outperformed a little bit.
I prefer Grok, too. Yeah.
And if you go, like, you keep doing the research, your thread becomes a mile long. I mean, I don't even know how many weeks or months I'm working in the same thread. It totally gets mixed up. It just becomes really stupid. It doesn't remember things. You tell it to lock it into memory. It doesn't lock into memory. And, you just want to, like, start from scratch again sometimes. So, yeah, I think if you work through it a lot, you can definitely start, peering into what's there. But, if you looked at this 2 years ago, what we have now is just exponentially greater. And that's the whole idea behind that super intelligence, that it will be on an exponential growth curve, because each version of itself will be able to improve on its version and replicate faster and faster.
Mm-hmm.
So Ray Kurzweil, who's the head of Google Research, came out with a book called Singularity is Near. I think it was in the early 2000s, where he talked about this. And he was the one who came up with the idea of Moore's Law, so computer process. Well, he came up with the idea that it could be applied to artificial intelligence. So as computer processing power increases doubles every 18 months, he predicted by 2029 we'd have artificial general intelligence, which is not what we have now. So general intelligence would actually do some reasoning, at least on the level of humans, right?
AGI,
artificial general intelligence.
Sam Altman's trying to make that.
Yeah, and actually all of a sudden now Zuckerberg is trying to do it also, and he's hiring people away from other companies at 30 million, $100 million bonuses, which sound pretty good. So I think he'll get some more researchers there. But yeah, that is the big goal, to get to AGI, because once you get to AGI, then you get to superintelligence. So Ray's prediction based on Moore's Law was that we were going to get AGI in 2029. And this whole community of AGI researchers, they're all kind of in Silicon Valley, a couple other places. France has some, they're around the world. Now they're saying 2027, late 2026, 2027. So it's actually ahead of schedule. His prediction for superintelligence was, I think, 2039. So if AGI is ahead, then that would be ahead. So I'm not going to make a prediction, but let's say below what Ray thought it was.
Okay.
But I don't think we have to worry about AI. That's my personal opinion. This is the way I look at it. A lot of people have very difficult relationships with their parents, right? But you don't kill your parents.
No.
Unless you're the Menendez brothers. But, that's like a one-off case, right?
Yeah.
So if AI think of us as their parents, they might not think we're perfect, but I don't think they'll kill us.
Yeah, I agree with that. There's a lot of fear of the unknown with people. And even Elon's like, oh, AI is a threat to society. I think we'll be all right.
Yeah.
We built this stuff. We'll be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other really crazy thing that Kurzweil talks about is, well, if AI really becomes super intelligent like that, where does that leave us? And so Ray talks about it in his newer book, The Singularity is Nearer, which came out, I think, either early this year or maybe late last year. He talks about the real future is in nanotechnology, and nanotechnology are basically proteins, and it's still in its infancy stage. But he believes that AI will be loaded into the proteins, and you'll inject the proteins into your bloodstream, and you'll be able to think thousands of times faster at the same speed as AI. So in a sense, it's a next evolution for humanity. And I think a lot of people would go really crazy when they hear that.
Yeah. It's funny. Someone mentioned the other day that, chess players, the best chess players in the world cannot beat computers. And it's been that way for decades. So Magnus Carlsen, he's my age. He's made 10 million career earnings as a chess player. He can't beat a computer. But he still made 10 million as a chess player. So humans doing things better than other humans, I think, is always going to be valuable in society. Look, not everybody can be a grandmaster chess player, obviously, but we still appreciate those things and we still reward those things. Even like my stupid watch. An Apple Watch is 1,000,000 times better than this. 1,000,000 times better. But we still appreciate the nice physical things.
Absolutely.
So that's my take on it.
Yeah, for sure. And, like I said, there will always be things for humans to do, things that we like. We like playing sports. If we didn't have to work, we could play sports, we could do art. You could do whatever you wanted, right?
And maybe we get to a point where we don't have to work because AI is working for us.
That's what I'm saying.
And we just buy a bunch of AI
24/7, worker bees all night long. Just wake up and go, oh, what am I going to do today? Let's see, we'll figure it out. Make some music, right?
Make some music. Hire some AI agents to show some properties for me.
You could do that. Yeah.
So what industries are you guys? Well, you told me the first one, right?
Yeah, the first. I see the first one is the cybersecurity agent. So right now,
which is probably like the lowest hanging fruit.
And we have the expertise in-house to do something like this. But the threat right now is that if you're a company and you're using someone else's platform to build an agent, they're going to have some cybersecurity measures in there, right? And hopefully they're updating them all the time. If you're a company and you're building your own agent from scratch, you're going to have your cybersecurity team. That's a lot of money and effort that is replicated over and over and over again. So it's very inefficient and wasteful. So I see our cybersecurity agents almost like a gas station.
Mm-hmm.
So before you do any transaction with any other agent, you meet with one of our agents that you have a contract with,
Mm-hmm.
and they do an assessment, a risk assessment, threat assessment, and then give you a patch.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go out and you do your transaction. And before you speak to another one, you just do it again. You want to make sure that you're always updated at every moment. So I could see trillions of transactions on an agent like that.
Mm-hmm. And do you have any other industries that you think you guys are going to expand to next?
I like logistics because
Mm-hmm.
there's lots of inefficiencies and many transactions, and to get from point A to point Z, there's just thousands and thousands and thousands of places where these things move. So I think we could do some benefit there. In the sciences, doing data research, perhaps on the genome. Definitely in DeFi,
Mm-hmm.
in finance for sure. I mean, if you park, let's say your Bitcoin, and start earning an interest rate, because or like you borrow the money, right? You're paying back the money. There are agents that could basically monitor the stable coins that it's put in, and they're not really stable, so they go up and down the market, just a little couple bips,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then you could have agents that if they could do 70% predictability, they'd be able to increase your yield on that investment by a couple percentage points. So that's a good one. There's any sort of like financial trading
Mm-hmm.
types of agents would be a good area just because they're so popular.
Mm-hmm. You're gonna put the hedge funds out of business? You
I
started
think
one, now you're putting them out of business?
Sell them to the hedge funds, right? So you have retail, and you have
Mm-hmm.
institutional for sure.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I like the idea behind it because that is a big fear for people. They're going to lose their jobs. Oh my God, AI is coming for this. But they can buy an agent. And it sounds like they're going to be on the blockchain, right? So it'd be like Bitcoin where it's very secure.
Blockchain, and also there's a company, well, it's not really a company, it's like an organization. It's called Agency, AGNTCY.
Mm-hmm.
So it's they're basically creating a platform that's like an internet of agents.
Mm-hmm.
And there are several other companies that have created like transaction protocols, things like that. There are companies that are building environments where they'll live, wherever they live. If we have one on the blockchain and then there's internet of agents over here and it needs the same service, we just duplicate the agent and put it over there.
Mm-hmm.
The other service that we're providing is like a directory. So people want to know what agents are out there, what do they do, and how do they find each other.
Mm-hmm.
So our exchange actually acts like that directory also. So it'll be kind of like a funnel for agents, and we'll be able to collect data, know what's going on.
I like it.
Yeah.
You had an AI bot on Twitter responding to me for a while.
I did.
It was just giving me shit. It was actually pretty funny.
Oh, that's funny. So it is a shit coin right now, right? Like we launched this.
It's a shit coin.
It's a shit coin. Shit coin basically something goes to zero, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So that was Sir Cryptic. It was a Christmas holiday project to put an artificial intelligence up on X that would tweet on its own and respond. And we got it working for a little while. We went through this platform called Virtuals Protocol. And we just found out it was just like, it's a gambling situation. They didn't really care. People who put money in it just wanted the price to go up. They didn't really care what your story was. So it was just, there are a lot of coins out there that are just made up stories.
Yeah. I feel like most of the meme coins are that.
Yeah.
Or the shit coins, whatever you call them.
Fart coin, right?
Yeah, fart coin.
Right.
But if it has a funny name like fart coin, that one actually might take off.
It did okay, right?
Yeah.
I do have a friend, though, that did one called Billy Bets. So he has a betting AI that just scans Polymarket and like different sports betting things to make predictions, and it's been doing pretty good. So some of them do have some like utility, let's say, but most of them don't. So that was totally new for me. I had no idea. So we built this thing with an actual idea to do something, and no one really cared. And it went up, almost got bonded, and then it was like, bam. It's like, oh. So yeah, that was an interesting learning experience.
On that note, do you think AI is going to make sports gambling more predictable? Like, will AI be smart enough to figure out the odds better than Vegas?
Oh, I would think so.
You think so?
I would think so.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Are we at that point yet?
I would think so, yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, sure. I bet you could build an agent that would probably outpredict most.
Do you have an agent doing this?
No. But
My brother would love
we
this.
can talk about that later.
I'm not a gambler guy, but my brother does. He'll throw like $5 on stuff, and every
Tell
game.
him to check out Billy Betts.
Billy Betts.
Billybets.
Yeah.
It's on X.
Okay. It's an AI thing where they.
Yeah, it's an AI.
Okay.
There's different platforms that allow you to build these AIs. It doesn't take any coding knowledge. All you do is put in a description of what it is, how it's supposed to see itself. So this way, if it wants to tweet every day, you give it a personality, right? You give it a worldview, you give it a personality, you tell certain things that it does, maybe some goals, and it'll go on X and it'll tweet, and then it'll have a coin that's associated with it, a token.
Is that how you got Sir Cryptic?
That's exactly how we did Sir
Okay.
Cryptic, yeah.
So it sounds like that's pretty close to super intelligence, but it's not yet.
Not really.
No?
Not really. I mean, these things mimic intelligence, right?
Yeah.
They, but what's interesting, what I like about them is they have personalities. So, and I think that there's utility there. Like you could have these AIs performing a comedy show, for example. Like they're funny. Like I thought Sir Cryptic was really cool because of just the way he approached things. He was like this Knights of the Round Table, type knight meeting a cyberpunk kind of personality, and he was just like kind of like alpha bad boy to everybody, men and women. He was just like dominate everyone in conversation, right? Not very nice, right? And then funny and clever, and then he spoke in riddles.
Yeah.
So it was just an interesting character.
Yeah. I remember the riddles.
Right. He was too good at the riddles. No one could solve them.
Yeah, it was like very long posts.
Oh my
It
God.
would be like 3 paragraphs. And
The
I just
one guy
tuned
who
out.
won that contest, I had to give him like 10 hints at the end. He was brutal. Maybe that's why no one bought the coin. I don't know.
Yeah, too confusing.
It was a lot of fun though.
Yeah, if you had fun.
Yeah,
okay.
a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Good learning experience too.
So AI making other AIs is not super intelligence yet.
No, that's not super intelligent. What we're trying to do, I think there's going to be a lot of what I just call like mimicking, mimicking of intelligence, making decisions based on, I don't know, maybe some probabilities, something like that. But eventually it'll get there. I think by the time we really start scaling out, we'll be at AGI or very near it. And that's what we really need. Some of the issues that we have in the company is if you have like a whole research department, how do they decide what industries they're going to look at? Where are they going to start looking at inefficiencies? There's resource limitations, right? It can't just go out and do everything. So it has to take a reasoned view of what industries it wants to look at. And then when it looks at the industries, it has to identify inefficiencies. They have to agree on that. Then they have to develop a business use case around it. Will a logistics company pay for this information? Is it so marginal, the benefit that it's providing, that it doesn't provide value? And I'm assuming that a bunch of agents that are built will not work, right? There's going to be a certain failure rate. So that's, like predicted in there. But they'll be self-learning over time. And as they get better and better and over the years, I think be a pretty interesting concept. And the agents will be working together. So once they start producing agents, maybe those agents will start joining with each other and forming their own companies because they would work better as a group, like in a hive as opposed to individual. So we'll find out.
So AGI is when you guys will really take off.
I think that will help us a lot.
It'll help a lot.
We're not creating it, right? Like so if we win this grant for the National Science Foundation, we do have to show some progressive research on something that hasn't been done before. So it's possible that we can partner with some companies that are way far ahead of us. I mean, that's you can't really do AGI unless you're either
Sam Altman.
OpenAI,
yeah.
Microsoft or Google, whoever wants to take that project on. And then there is a, I'm trying to remember what they're called. It's like, when you have like a bazillion computer developers who work on a project around the world, and no one gets paid, but they all work together, whatever that's called. There's a guy named, is that Ben Goertzel? So Ben Goertzel actually came up with the term AGI. I think it was in the 1990s. He wrote a book on it. And he's an interesting guy. He's Brazilian, grew up in New Jersey. I think he got his master's degree or PhD when he was like 15 or 16 or 17, just like super genius guy. And he developed an AI for Hanson Robotics, which is Sophia the robot, some people know Sophia the robot, but it was a robot that did therapy, and it was to prove that humans and robots could interact in a positive way. So his team is called Singularity Net, and they're just trying to build AGI because they don't want AGI to be developed by companies that sell you things or will bomb you.
Don't want the government to make AGI.
No, do not. Well, they're probably, I'm sure DARPA is. Well, so who is it? On the board of OpenAI, there is a senior, either former defense secretary or something, and OpenAI is working with the military.
Yikes.
Well, China's doing it too, so
Yeah.
we don't want to not do it.
Yeah. It's an arms race, right?
It is.
If they're doing it, we have to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, seriously, if we come up with AGI first, because once you get AGI, it'll help get to super high fat. Like once you get AGI, that's it. Game over for whatever person, country, company develops that.
Why? Because everyone else has to use their technology, basically?
Because no one will ever catch up.
No one will ever catch up? Okay.
Because it's on an exponential curve, right? So it'll always be fine.
Right, because it can teach itself and can learn things on its own.
Right.
Right, okay. Who do you think is going to win that race?
Oh, definitely United States, for sure.
Definitely. Well, which
here?
company within the United States?
I would not underestimate Elon. I mean, a lot of what he's doing is, how can I describe this? It's based on kind of like mathematical input. It's the way that he designed Tesla and the other things that he does. I think there's a lot less human interaction. I think in one or two versions, there will be no human input in the development of Grok. It'll just be doing it on its own.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Is ChatGPT at that point?
Well, okay, so Grok 4 was just dropped, and it's surpassed all the benchmarks, but it's leapfrog, right? Everyone's leapfrogging over.
Right.
But what did Elon do? He built Colossus, which is the largest AI data processing place in the world, and he's putting on 2 or 3 more. So if he's building those faster, and his design system is just a little bit better, because he was able to, get to 4 when Grok was way behind OpenAI last year. They weren't even close. So the fact that they caught up and surpassed them is a statement to how powerful that data processing plant is, and also his design team and the team that are developing the AI for him. So, plus he's getting all the data from Tesla, right?
I like Grok better than anything else for text prompts. Like, I think it's the best one by far. As for image prompts, though, I've tried to get Grok to make images for me, and it's just not great at that.
Yeah.
I have to go to ChatGPT for that one.
Do you use ChatGPT or DALL-E?
I use ChatGPT only for images.
Right.
If I'm going to just ask a question, I go to Grok.
So in ChatGPT in the thread, you could ask it to create an image. But if you want a better image, just go up to the top on the left, and it says DALL-E, DALL-E. That's like their image gen, and it does a little bit better job, and it's much faster.
Oh, okay. I don't pay for ChatGPT, so I only use it for the free image whenever I need one.
Yeah.
But I do pay for Grok because that blue check mark on Twitter.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
But it's great that it's integrated into Twitter. That's another advantage for
huge advantage.
Elon's team, because
that's where the information is on the internet.
Yeah, it's all the current news, people talking, and up to the minute. It's updated every day. And this is an interesting thing also. So I don't know if you've heard of the term synthetic data. So right now, every piece of information on the planet, except for maybe some books that are hidden far beneath the Vatican library, right, are in these models, right? They've been trained on them. Everything. There's nothing new. So in order for them to improve and learn more, where's that information going to come from?
From people, which is on Twitter.
Oh, so that's a little bit, though. That's just kind of fractional. Just get like a little piece, right? But you're not having like major scientific breakthroughs completed on Twitter.
Yeah.
People might talk about what's happening,
yeah,
right?
That's fair.
Right?
That's fair.
So the AI itself will create data. As it becomes smarter and smarter and smarter, it creates its own data sets, looks at things in new ways, makes different conclusions, and it'll start training on that type of data. So that's something that's going to need to happen.
Do you see that happening
soon? Like
soon?
Right now, yeah, they're already starting to use it.
It's happening right now?
Yeah.
All right.
It's a big part of what they're doing at X.
Well, people, if you lose your jobs,
That's it.
make sure you buy an AI agent from SETI.
Agent
Seth.
Colony AI.
Seth, you got anything else for us today?
I wish I had some like big nugget of news. Oh, okay. How about we were talking before Suno for the musicians out there, where if you're not a musician and you want to make some music, go to Suno. It's an AI. You pop in genre, whatever you want. You give it a couple words about a friend, and so you have the style, and in like 2 minutes you got 2 songs made, and they're pretty good.
Suno, everybody. And I had one made for me. It was actually pretty good.
The gangster real estate agent.
Thanks for watching. Take care, guys.